Anyway, so today is 9/11, of course, and we're going to talk to our guests, and we're going to honor our veterans. So let's talk with two veterans who became entrepreneurs after serving our country.
Yeah, joining us right now are Paul Capon, the founder of LunaCap Ventures, and also Michael Bajuz, a LunaCap fellow. Welcome, guys.
Hey,
good afternoon.
Thanks for having us.
So, Paul, tell us what LunaCap is first.
Yeah, no. So when I got out of the service, I was looking for some work, and I knew I was really interested in the entrepreneurship. Just as a veteran, I think we want to create things and build teams. And so as I was looking, I jumped into the venture capital world, and then I started my own LunaCap Ventures, which is just a venture capital group, and we invest in military, women, and minority owned or run companies. And then from that, I decided to start the LunaCap Foundation. And the focus on the foundation is really helping veterans or active duty military or Mexicans to go to top tier business schools. And so we started that last year. We started off with 10 fellows or 10 scholars. And now we have 77 fellows, and Michael Bajuz is one of our scholars as well. So
yeah, that is a very worthy cause, I have to say. See, we both know that military teaches you a lot of things. What would you say is the most important skill that you perfected in the military that's helpful when building products?
Yeah, I think it's really the leadership, and I mean that's a big word. But I know for me it was really important to learn how to build a team, and kind of realize and how to benefit so you don't always have to come up with the answer. You just have to have the vision and then enable and make sure that everybody else is kind of in line and creating that vision and instilling that vision. And then that's, I think, what enables great teams to push forward. And especially in the startup world, you're not going to have all the answers. So when you're growing and you're building a team, it's vital and really important for you to really listen to your folks and hire the people that are smarter than you. You just need to know enough to make sure, hey, this is the right direction. This doesn't make sense. And then the second quote, or there's the quote that I live by, is a great plan executed now is better than a perfect one next week. I think that was one thing as well that we learned, and that like 90% of decisions have to be made, 10% have to be made correctly. So it's really focusing on what is really important.
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
Michael,
we have that attitude.
Yeah.
I function like that every day. So, yeah, Michael, tell us about your journey, Mr. Bajuz. How'd you fall into this world? What did you serve, and what did you learn from your service?
So the biggest thing, by the way, thank you for having me on here. Always for the veterans, 9/11 is one of those biggest days, right? The biggest thing I learned from my service, I was in the Army, and the biggest thing I learned is trust, right? It's a lot of times you can't be there with other people, you can't be there with your teammates, you can't be with your soldiers or wherever. And you always rather have someone who's very highly trustworthy, and you can either teach them or just work with them, right? You don't want someone that's super, most proficient at their task, but you can't trust them. Then that's not the point of organization. You don't know what's going to happen. So that's the biggest thing I learned. First and foremost is trust, and everything, as Paul mentioned, everything is surrounding trust, right? You don't have to be the perfect guy, but at least you can make that call and then you can move forward. Following my time in the Army, I worked for Jeffries in the Soldier Training Department for a little bit, and then I applied to Yale, which I'm currently studying at. And I got in contact with Paul because a lot of things with the LunaCap Foundation, what he's trying to do is always, one of his biggest things is sending the elevator back down, no matter what position you're at right now. It's all about helping others, right? You don't have to wait for that first $1 million in order to help someone else. You can always send the elevator back down, give a friendly call, do a connection. So that's where I'm at currently.
Yeah, I do want to ask both of you. In the military, a soldier's duty, more or less, is to follow orders, right? Do something, yes, ma'am. In the civilian world, especially when you're working with other people and building a team, you want everybody's contribution. How do you balance that? And in that sense, what can you take from the military to apply it to what you're doing right now?
So, one thing that I think is a big misconception, and especially as you come into the civilian world, the military, I think everybody thinks you get yelled at and it's a yes, sir, yes, ma'am. And that's basic. But afterwards, you really they want you to critically think. It's our job, and the onus is on us as leaders and everybody. When you're in a decision, if there's something that you see that doesn't seem right, they want you to have that background. They want you to question in a productive capacity. So it's not just a yes, this is what we're doing, and you're going to do it because I told you so. they really want to make sure that everybody at every level knows where the vision is and that they want that critical thinking. So I think that's one misconception. I think that's something that actually does translate very well to the civilian world. Michael, I'll let you talk, but I think that's one thing I'd love to change in terms of perception.
Yeah, Michael, we'll give you the last word because we're out of time here.
Got it. I'll make it quick, right? There's a lot of people, for example, there's people that are in the military more than I was alive, right? They're actually under me. So it would be, if you can't utilize those experiences, that perspective as as officer, even if that's above you, and you failed as a leader, because as a leader, you're supposed to incorporate everyone on the team to get their perspective, their framework, so you can accomplish the mission in the best way possible. So rank really matters at the end of the day, but it doesn't mean you can't get everyone's experiences and perspectives.
Well, Paul and Michael, thank you so much for your service and all the best to you and your families.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day.